So in this video, I'll go through how I made the grenade launcher blueprint. So if we click the middle mouse, it will create this explosion. And if the explosion occurs on the floor, uh, it made this explosion. And if the explosion is on the air, it makes a different explosion. So for that, let me show you the blueprint. Yeah, which is this. So this blueprint is basically this the thing I showed in the previous video, but when the enhance input action IA underscore shoot grenade will trigger, it will spawn this BP grenade launcher projectile, and then it will do the rest of the thing. So what this BP grenade launcher projectile does is just a ball, like a sphere, which is the default Unreal blueprint for the shooting the balls. But then I modified it with this was the default Unreal uh, blueprint for shooting the ball, but then I modified with this one. So once it has the projectile movement of this the initial speed, so it will shoot this bullet, this sphere, and once after the event hit, so once it hits any mesh, uh, we want it to be spawn BP underscore projectile explosion field. So this is the chaos field where it will make the impact, and it will create like like a force to the impact point. So how it will work is it will have two options. So one is it will explode on impact. So if I shoot it explode on this impact. Yeah, this was the blueprint for the teleporting to this level, uh, which I accidentally like triggered. Uh, so if I shoot it on the surface, it will make this explosion. But if it doesn't um, impact with, it doesn't collide with any surface. Let's say if I shoot it in the air, so after 0.75 second, it will trigger the explosion. So what I did here is on event hit, once it hit, it will spawn this blueprint explosion field, and then it will spawn the Niagara particle system. But if it doesn't hit on event begin play, it will have a delay of 0.75 second, and once it has this delay, it will spawn the projectile and spawn the Niagara system. So this is how it will work. Like if it hit, it will spawn this, and if it doesn't hit, it will spawn eventually in 0.75 second. And then uh, once it explodes, we want the camera shake. So I use this node play world camera shake, and for the blueprint, I made the camera shake explosion blueprint. So to make this camera shake blueprint, what we can do is right click, go to blueprint class, and in all class, we'll search for camera shake, and it would be the last one, I guess. Yeah, camera shake base. So if we click, select this and make this one, it will be the camera shake blueprint. And so in this one, uh, I played around with these settings and made um and used these settings to make the camera shake. And where was I? Yeah, yeah. So then we will use uh we'll cast to BP first person character since this is the different blueprint. So we will cast it to be first person character, and for the object reference we will use get player character, and then we will use the world location as for the epicenter, and that's where it will create the camera shake. And after the camera shake, we will use play sound at location, and then we'll use explosion sound, and then um, we have the branch for a condition. So the condition is if the explosion when the explosion trigger, if the it is above this height, it will use a different Niagara particle system to spawn, and if it's below this height, it will use different Niagara particle system to be spawned. So for that we use true and false, and we have this one spawn system at location, and here as well spawn system at location, but the condition is that we'll get the actor location, and we'll use break vector, so we have x y z value, and for z value, which is the vertical one, which is from here to here, which is the up axis. So for the z value, if it's greater than this height threshold, which is the float variable, and if the it is greater than 150 units, it will use this explosion, which is explosion in the air, and if it's below this, which will be false, and it will use the this explosion which is on the ground. And then what if it have if the explosion happens on the ground, we want a decal to be spawned on the ground at that point. So just like before, we will use the line trace by channel, and for the starting and ending point we use the same location for the starting point, and for the ending point we will add more, we'll add the z um, height threshold, and then we will end it. And then with our break hit result, we will get the impact point and normal for the location and rotation. And then we will use spawn decal at location, and we'll select the decal, and we'll get the decal size here, and then we'll um, connect the impact point to the location and normal to the rotation, and we'll use this random integer in range, so every time the decal will rotate randomly from 0 to 360. And then we'll use set fade out, so it will fade out after 3 seconds, and the lifespan of this decal is 5 seconds, so from 4 and 5 seconds it will starts fade out, and then it will destroy the actor. So this is how this um, grenade launcher blueprint works if it um, collides with anything, explosion. But if it doesn't collide with anything within 0.75 seconds, it will spawn on the Niagara particle system.